Hello and welcome back, Commanders and Commanderettes. Chesty Puller here with another War Commander video. This one is not necessarily a speed run, but I do want to see how quickly I can do this at a casual pace that's enjoyable, where I'm not trying to, kill myself. Now, it ends up taking me 17 minutes to do this set. Like I said, I'm not rushing. I'm just taking it easy, but there is even a faster way, and that is if you do base one over and over and over again, you get into a rhythm and you remember everything that you need to do, and you do 10 or 15 of those. I like to actually do all of the ones that I need in a row, and I need 37 bases. So I like to do 37 ones, and then 37 twos, and then 37 threes, or 37 ones and 37 threes, and then leave the twos for the middle. That's what I ended up doing. Um, but so I decided to just play it 1, 2, 3 like that. It's a little bit harder to remember because you have to change a little bit, like your tactic and so forth, and the angle that you come in on the base. You become familiar with a certain angle that you like. And so you have to determine, where you want your, where you're going to search for your next base, right? So the number 3 base, I do like to come in from the northeast, or I guess it's the 2 o'clock position. Um, but for the number 1 and the number 2, I like to come in from the south. That's just my preference. I've done it from all directions, uh, because I didn't want to go looking for a base that was on the other side. But if I'm doing all threes, then I go south of my base so that I can come in on the northeast. Anyway, the first part that I do, and in this case I just happened to have to move, so I was over here. I thought I would take out this other railgun. But the first part that I do is to take care of the matchlock. And um, as I said, I am not rushing. I'm taking my time. So if it took me 17 minutes just casually, then I think this can be done in maybe 10 minutes, or 11 minutes, something like that. um, I was being real safe. Also, I felt like I could have come in a lot sooner with my gladiators than I did, but I just was real safe. Um, but I will try to do an absolute speed video, but this one, the main purpose of this one is to show my technique and to show how much time it would take if you're like me and you already had everything. Then you'll need about 36 or 37 bases to get your 6 million points to buy everything in the store. It's going to cost 6 million to buy everything in the store, unless you're behind on something. And I am talking about also buying 10 parts for the 2 other uh, legendary heroes that are available, and that there's no way you could have those unless you bought them. Um, but I don't do that, so I don't have those parts. So that's why I need 6 million. Well, 6 million is divided by 164,036 point something times. So you have to do it 36 times. Now, if you can do it in 17 minutes, or that would be about 3.5 sets in an hour. 3.5 sets in an hour, which would mean it would take you about 11 hours. About 11 hours to get all of your, maybe 12 hours to get all of your 36 bases done. That's a lot. That's a real grind. And Kixeye has forgotten And even if you buy stuff, you can't make this base better or faster. The only thing that you can do is, if you buy things, is you'll do less bases because you don't need, but not that many less. You're still going to need a bunch of stuff. So you'll still have to do this base. By buying whatever they have available does not speed up the base, because I have everything. I don't need to buy anything, and all my stuff is maxed out, and this is how long it takes. This video is real time and not sped up. Anyway, so real simple though. I bring in my Orions and then one Oni to take out the match lock, and then I bring in legendary Humvees for a couple of rounds just to loosen up the base a little bit, and then I immediately go to my gladiators for base 1. The only difference is, for base 3 I also use Galahad in position 1, where right underneath my this is why I want my air to come in on position 1 for base 3. Now base 2, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't care. Base 3 just happens to have those 2 guys that can turncoat you, and so I have to kill those guys, and I draw them out with Galahad, because that's exactly where they are in position 1. So same thing here. Bring the Orions out. I use the reason I use the Orion is because I have Ruby off, and the Orion will stay off the map. Now this matchlock can reach him, in fact, but see how I've chased him further away to the right there? Don't forget to put your Orions on defense. Now I bring the Oni back, and then he's dead. He comes right back underneath me. For this base, I don't need anything else here with the Orion, so I'll just get rid of those. And again, same simple thing. Now I could come in, probably, but I don't want to. I want to loosen the base up a little bit, because what I'm telling you is, base after base after base after base, you're going to have free repair. Now this base is probably the hardest one, number 2, because it has all of these viral turrets. The hardest one for the way that I do it. It's actually surprising to me how easy base 3 is compared to base 2. This should probably be base 3, but they do that on purpose. I think they like to throw you off. And throw some surprise or trick in there, and that's one of the things I think they do. I think they do it on a lot of events, where they'll make the middle base or the first base the hardest one, rather than 1, 2, 3 like it should be. Anyway, because of these viral turrets, sometimes I have taken 5 minutes and 2 seconds damage. And not instant repair, but while I'm moving my troops, I will go back and repair that 2 seconds real quick. And but time after time after time, this method is fairly fast. I mean, I don't know how fast this base could be done if there's another way to do it. I've been trying to tweak it, and I'll continue to do that, because as I do them over and over and over again, I'll probably get better and better and better at them. But and yes, if you do base number 1 over and over and over again, you'll get so good at it that you will go faster. because you don't have to remember what's next. You just do it over and over and over again. And because this method, I never have to go back to my base, except for on a rare occasion, then um, I save a lot of time. I do save a lot of time because I literally stay on the map. I don't go back to my base. Um, and if I do, like I said, it's just for a second. And this is one of those instances where I will have to go back to my base for 2 seconds. I'll just figure out which one needs that little bit of extra help. Um, and I think it's these Humvees right here. Send that back to the base. It's not going to take more than a few seconds. That other one didn't repair in there. I was trying to click on it and it kicked me out of the base. So now let's check. I don't even have to leave here probably. I just look at it. There, it's repairing, and now it's free already. See, that's how short of a repair time that was. So now we will move. I have pre-selected a number 3 base, and we will come over here. This is another reason why it's good to do the same base over and over and over again, because if you do need to come in from a different direction, you're already in that direction, and you just keep choosing a base in that area. In this case, number 3 is the one that I want to come in from the north on, just because I like to use my Galahad in position 1, um, to draw out because he's got a very long range, and I can shoot something and draw them out. But that's the location that they're at, so that's the location that I choose, because that's where those, I think they are, um, I'll have to look. I think they're either missionaries or cadets, and I think they are, uh, let's see, are they cadets? I'll have to look at the workshop on them. I can't remember who does that, um, but you'll see them. I'll draw them out here. Um, like I said, this number 3 base just seems smaller and uh, easier to me, but there is one thing about this number 3 base, and that is there's a lot more to it than you see, um, because it is under a cloaked CC. So there's actually a lot more going on here than you see. Nonetheless, it's still easier. So now that the matchlock is dead, I'll bring in the Galahad, and then I will draw. Don't forget to have your Orions on lockdown. And take Galahad up in the corner. Once those 2 guys are dead, then we retreat the Galahad and we retreat the Orions. And then just a couple of rounds of legendary Humvees, and we're good to go. I like to do like maybe 2 or 3 rounds with each set of Humvees. It doesn't take that long. It does slow you down maybe a little bit. And I have experimented with just going in, but sometimes I'll take 6 minutes damage or something, and I just don't want to take any damage. I want to repair instant on the map and go to the next base, because I want to get in that rhythm, where where I'm just cruising. See, once I pop the CC, you can see all the other stuff in the base. So there is more going on than it looks like. It looks like a real easy base, but on the other hand, it is just an easier base. I think the main primary reason is there's very few viral turrets. That's the reason I think it's easier. And even though if you look at it, it's just not as big of a base as base number two is. Base number two is spread out a lot more, and a spread out base is obviously more work because you have to travel further before you can shoot. When it's all together, you can just shoot without moving. That moving time is actually where you take all your damage. A lot of most of your damage. If you're moving around on a big base and running over mines and stuff like that. So this base is more compact. So that makes the, I'm going to switch. We're going to go into it here. Just a couple more rounds till I can get those helicopters out of there. Helicopters are not that bad of a deal, but I can't see under them, and so I just take them out. And once the helicopters are gone, and once that platoon dies, I'll just release my gladiators, and that should do it. Now, in my gladiators, I do have the hero, and I cannot remember his name. The gladiator hero. See right here? He is in that number one platoon along with my Galahad, just in a different slot. Another thing that you can do, which I have been doing and I didn't do in this video, is the legendary bounty hunter. There's room for him in here, and he actually speeds things up, and he's never taken even the tiniest bit of damage. So you can actually deploy the legendary bounty hunter. I just forgot to do it in this video uh, because I was doing a different way. I was doing base one, base one, base one, base three, base three, base three, and I kind of like did one, two, three just for the video, and sort of forgot to put the legendary bounty hunter in there. That is the tunes right there. I have two platoons of 9 Humvees. I do not use the legendary Humvee in those platoons because it won't do any good. It's not necessary. And then 3 platoons of 2 um, gladiators and 1 platoon of 2 gladiators and a Galahad. That's it, guys. Hope it was helpful.